The warning klaxons echoed through the halls of Gateway Station, sending every technician and officer scrambling to their posts. Commander Elsa Martinez stood on the observation deck, her dark eyes fixed on the impossible sight materializing before her, the Prometheus. After 73 years, the colony ship that had vanished without a trace was emerging from a spatial anomaly that shouldn't exist, its hull gleaming with a strange, iridescent sheen that no human metallurgy could produce. "Commander, we're receiving a hail," Lieutenant Leo Chen called from the communications array, his fingers dancing across holographic displays. His voice carried an edge of disbelief. "It's using old Earth protocols, but the signal compression it's decades beyond our current technology." Elsa crossed the deck in 3 quick strides, her military training keeping her movements precise despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. "Put it through." The view screen flickered to life, revealing a woman who looked no older than 30, though the Prometheus had departed Earth before she was born. Behind her, the ship's bridge gleamed with technology that made Gateway Station's state-of-the-art equipment look like children's toys. "Gateway Station, this is Captain Sarah Zhou of the Prometheus, requesting permission to dock. We've been a long way from home." The docking procedure took 6 hours. Every sensor on Gateway Station was trained on the returning ship, feeding data to analysts who could barely process what they were seeing. The Prometheus wasn't just advanced, it was operating on principles that violated established physics. Elsa stood in the docking bay, Leo beside her as the airlock hissed open. The delegation that emerged looked human enough, but there was something different about them. They moved with an eerie synchronization, their eyes holding depths that suggested they'd seen things no human should witness. Captain Zhou stepped forward, and Elsa noticed the faint shimmer around her body, some kind of personal shielding that activated and deactivated with her heartbeat. "Commander Martinez, Lieutenant Chen," Zhou said, somehow knowing their names without being told. "I apologize for the dramatics, but we need to speak privately. What we've brought back, it changes everything." The conference room was sealed with every security protocol Gateway Station possessed. Zhou's delegation consisted of 3 others, a physicist, an engineer, and someone they simply introduced as the Navigator. All carried themselves with the quiet confidence of people who had transcended normal human limitations. 73 years ago, we encountered something, Zhou began, her fingers tracing patterns in the air that left glowing mathematical formulae hanging like holographic ghosts, a civilization that existed between dimensions. They'd been watching humanity for millennia, waiting to see if we'd survive our own adolescence. Leo leaned forward, his scientific mind already racing. The Fermi paradox solution. "They've been hiding, waiting for us to prove we're worth contact." "Partially correct," the physicist, Dr. Amara Okafor, interjected. "They weren't hiding. They exist in a state we couldn't perceive until we accidentally stumbled into their realm. The Prometheus didn't disappear. We shifted." Elsa felt ice crystallize in her stomach. "Shifted where?" "Everywhere. Nowhere. We existed in a quantum superposition across 17 dimensions simultaneously." Zhou's expression grew distant, haunted. "For us it felt like 3 years. We learned. They taught us. Not because they wanted to elevate us, but because they saw something in humanity they'd never encountered before." "What?" Elsa asked. The Navigator spoke for the first time, their voice carrying harmonics that seemed to vibrate in frequencies just beyond human hearing. "Stubbornness. Unreasonable, illogical, beautiful stubbornness. Every other species they'd encountered either destroyed themselves or achieved transcendence. Humans. Humans cling to physical existence with a ferocity that borders on cosmic rebellion." Zhou activated a device on her wrist, and suddenly the room filled with images. Cities that bent space around themselves. Ships that traveled by convincing the universe they were already at their destination. Medical technology that could rebuild a human body from a single cell while preserving every memory and personality trait. They gave us this technology because they found our refusal to become post-physical beings fascinating, Zhou continued. Every species reaches a point where physical existence becomes optional. Most choose transcendence. We looked at godhood and said, "No thanks, we'll figure it out ourselves." Leo's hands trembled as he reached toward a holographic schematic. "This is impossible. This engine design, It's not just faster than light, it's non-causal, effect before cause. It's human, Dr. Okafor said simply. Everything we brought back, we modified. The original designs were meant for beings of pure consciousness. We rebuilt it all to work for stubborn apes who refused to give up their meat bodies. Elsa understood the implications immediately. You're not here for a homecoming. You're here to prepare us. Joe nodded gravely. The galaxy is fuller than we ever imagined, and humanity's reputation has preceded us. We're the species that looked at inevitable extinction and chose to punch it in the face instead. That makes us either the best allies or the most dangerous enemies in the cosmos. Other species are watching, the navigator added, some with hope, others with fear. The Prometheus was just the first. Humanity is about to take its place on a stage we didn't know existed, and we're bringing our own rules to the game. Leo stood, his mind clearly reeling from the revelations. What do we do now? Elsa looked at the technology floating before them, then at the crew of the Prometheus, humans who had touched the infinite and chosen to remain stubbornly, defiantly human. She felt a smile tug at her lips, the same smile her ancestors must have worn when they looked at the stars and decided to reach for them, despite every logical reason to stay home. We do what humans always do, she said. We adapt, we overcome, we survive, and we show the universe that humanity doesn't need to transcend to be extraordinary. We're plenty dangerous just as we are. Joe's expression matched her own. Welcome to the larger universe, Commander. It's about to learn why Earth doesn't raise quitters. The Prometheus had returned, carrying technology that defied explanation and knowledge that rewrote humanity's place in the cosmos. But more importantly, it carried proof that humanity's greatest strength wasn't in becoming something else. It was in remaining defiantly, stubbornly, magnificently human, and the universe was about to find out what that really meant.